Hi everyone, it's Leslie Sue with Art and Talk. We are in the Spartanburg Art Museum in Spartanburg, South Carolina. And with me today is Danielle Woodson. She is the guest curator of the Displaced exhibit. Displaced is the resurgence and resilience of artists affected by Hurricane Helene. Featured artists are from Western North Carolina and the upstate South Carolina area. We're deeply honored to have Danielle with us. She's going to provide an overview of the Displaced exhibit, so I'll turn everything over to her. Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Leslie. Thank you. It was an honor for me to be asked to curate this exhibit because, when I was first asked, my initial gut reaction was no, because where do you begin? How do you tell this story? It was such a catastrophic event across the whole Southeast, but some of the places hit hardest, like you can see in the photo behind us, the River Arts District in Asheville, completely submerged underwater. So many of these artists that this is their livelihood, they're living artists, working artists, and years of work washed away. So it's a tough thing to tell, but I felt it was an important story to tell because as you watch the news, you see so many people, and it wasn't organizations coming in, it was the artists themselves helping each other dig their work out of the mud. And it really showed, you saw people pulling things out of the mud and then washing them off. Resurgence, they started creating again. And I wanted to put something together that not only showed what happened and let people see, because it's historic, but it's living history. We're currently still in it. People are still recovering. But again, us being in Spartanburg, we didn't have nearly the devastation that, say, Western North Carolina had. So it's maybe we feel a little displaced from it. You see it on the news, but you don't really get to see it in person or really experience it. So I wanted people to really see what these artists went through. But the whole purpose of the show is I wanted people to leave inspired, seeing how those people, the resilience, they bounced back, they're coming through it, they're building art again, they're creating. So as you walk through this exhibit, you'll see photos around of the destruction, the devastation, and then you'll see the art that was pulled from the mud. You'll see some of those salvaged pieces of work, but then you see new work that these artists they're creating again, and that's kind of their cathartic process to get through it, and I want people to leave inspired. So
Yes. The exhibit is profound and deeply moving, and you did an amazing job with it. Could you touch upon, I thought it was interesting, when you enter the exhibition space, there is a map.
Yes.
And it seems like it follows the trajectory of the storm, and is it correct that you placed the pieces according to the way the storm moved?
Somewhat. So we did a map, because as I was gathering these artists and talking to them, I realized it wasn't intentional, but it kind of ended up being that way, that the artists that we selected for the show were so widespread. It almost followed the path of the hurricane. So the first artist you see when you walk in is in Greenville, South Carolina, so south of Spartanburg. So we showed on the map, from Greenville, South Carolina, up to Hendersonville, North Carolina, Asheville, Swannanoa, and Black Mountain. So it really follows that path of the hurricane. And again, it was not my intention to set out and show that. It just happened to be that those were the artists I found, and I thought it was kind of kismet. It showed really how things came together and how widespread this event was. And if you come to the exhibit and pick up one of the Displaced books, one of the things that I thought was important is I wanted the artists to tell their hurricane experience story in their own words. So those stories are on the wall in the exhibit, so you can walk through and read them there, or you can pick them up, in a book. You can read their experience, and they're all very similar but very different, because again, it impacted everybody in so many different ways. But the end result was the same. They pulled through and continued to create.
Yes, that's amazing, the resilience and the resurgence, as the Displaced exhibit is named after, and how everyone is pulled together in community and using the fires of the creative spirit to pursue and move forward.
Right.
Thank you so much for being an ambassador of hope and healing.
Thank you.
If you are in the Spartanburg area or surrounding area, you do want to make a point of coming to the Spartanburg Art Museum and seeing the Displaced exhibit. It runs through the end of March. If you are not local, you can go on the Spartanburg Art Museum website or any of their socials and find out more about the exhibit. Art and Talk was deeply honored and humbled to have the opportunity to speak with some of the artists on exhibit, so we will be sharing with you their stories and extraordinary art. So do be on the lookout for that coming soon. Special thank you to Danielle Woodson for being with us today. Kind reminder to please support local artists in any way that you can. So thank you so much, everyone. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Leslie.